Hello, listen. This is Michael. Listen, we've got a state of emergency here.
Over the course of many years, we've seen many celebrities in video games. From Mike Tyson being a boxer in Punch-Out to Ricky Gervais telling jokes in a club in Grand Theft Auto 4. But we want to take a look at some of the weirder appearances. Celebrities who are fighting aliens and saving humanity. You know, things we normally only see in B-movies. That's why we dove into the vaults of gaming history and found 10 games with celebrities in crazy roles.
Michael!
The King of Pop is no longer among us, but he's still an icon. Michael Jackson made many songs that will be passed on for generations, but he also played the lead role in his own action video game, Moonwalker. The game was based on Michael Jackson's movie with the same title, which in turn was named after one of his signature moves. In both the movie and the game, Michael Jackson needs to save children from bad guys.
Michael! Michael!
His attacks were based on some of his famous dance moves. So yeah, the King of Pop is dancing through levels while beating up bad guys. During the 90s, there were a couple of basketball players that had true star status. One of them was Shaquille O'Neal. He played the main role in a 2D fighting game called Shaq Fu. In this game, O'Neal is on his way to basketball training when he walks into a dojo and gets sent into another dimension. There, he must rescue a young boy from an evil mummy using his newly acquired kung fu skills. Shaq Fu is nowadays considered one of the worst games of all time, even though it got a crowdfunded sequel in June 2018. No matter whether we talk about the original game or its sequel, it's just weird to see one of the biggest and best basketball players of all time doing kung fu.
Why do these guys want to kill you?
I'm not the man you think I am.
I knew it.
When talking about 90s superstars in basketball, we can't forget about Michael Jordan. Air Jordan was playing for the Chicago Bulls when he became a true superstar. For some reason, there was a studio that decided to make a game called Michael Jordan: Chaos in the Windy City. This is a really bad action platform game where you need to save all kinds of players who've been kidnapped. You get to attack enemies using different basketballs with all kinds of powers, like freeze or bomb abilities. The famous Michael Jordan as the savior of both Chicago and the basketball world, it's a bit weird but seems appropriate at the same time. When you think about Cristiano Ronaldo and video games, you associate him with EA's FIFA series or Pro Evolution Soccer, but not with an endless runner. Cristiano Ronaldo and Hugo Superstar Skaters is a mobile game for iOS and Android. The game has you playing as Ronaldo while he's trying to escape the paparazzi on a skateboard avoiding obstacles. This really has nothing to do with the beautiful game. The game isn't even set in Madrid or Florence, but in Las Vegas, which is a total disconnect with just about everything. A decade ago, David Beckham was a big star in the world of football. He was part of every major football game, but we would never expect him to be featured in his own 2D side-scrolling adventure game. Go Go Beckham Adventure on Soccer Island has you playing as a chibi version of David Beckham. Using a football as your weapon, you need to defeat the evil Mr. Woe to restore peace on Soccer Island. It's not the type of game you would ever expect to see David Beckham in, but it's actually pretty fun. Back in the days when Nintendo didn't even exist yet, kids played on systems like the ColecoVision and Atari 2600. It's here where we found a game called Chuck Norris Super Kicks. In this game, you needed to reach the end of a level within a time limit. Some routes were blocked and there were some random encounters where you needed to kick some ass. Even though you would of course expect Chuck Norris to kick ass, we never expected him to run through a maze-like environment. For some reason, he can't walk through grass or move past a fallen branch. That's weird, because we always thought Chuck Norris kicked the world once, and that's why it never stopped spinning.
Hello, listen. This is Michael. Listen, we've got a state of emergency here. Space Channel 5 is being attacked by robots. I can't believe it. Everybody back to the head of the office immediately. Immediately!
Before we all started playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band, rhythm games were limited to arcade machines and a few console titles. Space Channel 5 Part 2 was one of those games, and Michael Jackson played a big role. The King of Pop showed interest in the first Space Channel 5 game, but that was near the end of its development. So he could only get a small cameo. In Space Channel 5 Part 2, he got a much bigger role, and Space Michael got to assist Ooh La La in defeating evil and saving the galaxy.
Thank you, thank you so much.
This time around, he did everything while singing and dancing. At least that part makes sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the King of Pop, Michael Jackson!
You can't win. The title's mine. Don't you know who you're messing with?
And we're back with more video game MJ. Even though Michael Jackson was a true hero on stage, we don't see him as a guy who would kick ass in a boxing ring. That's why his appearance in Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 was such a big surprise. It's just weird to see him move around in the ring taking on a wide range of enemies.
With this groove, I can't lose.
Interestingly enough, he still does his dance moves when he celebrates his victory. But in the end, it's just weird to see the rather fragile Michael Jackson in a fighting game.
Don't tango with the King of Pop.
Wait, I have it. I have the skull. Show me. In my safe. Let me show you.
The action game 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is about rapper 50 Cent and his quest to take back a crystal skull that was stolen from him. 50 and his G-Unit crew are somewhere in the Middle East shooting all kinds of terrorists to get their $10 million skull back.
Come on, get it! 50, flank these fools!
The game really has a lot of the gangsta vibe thanks to the pretty awesome soundtrack. But in the end, it's all nonsense, of course. There's no way that 50 Cent can take out an entire terrorist organization in the Middle East. Like with the previous entry in this list, we kinda expect gangster rappers to be fighters. Seeing Ludacris, Method Man, Ice-T, and Fat Joe fight each other in Def Jam Fight for New York isn't that weird for some reason, but the addition of Carmen Electra really made us scratch our head.
Yeah, come here, baby. I got some sugar for ya.
Damn! It's a shame you don't got no insurance, cause you damn sure gonna be leaving in a wheelchair.
What does this lingerie model slash Baywatch star have to do with Def Jam Records and its artists? And why is she fighting them? In her underwear. Our teenage selves weren't complaining when this game got released, but now looking back at it, it's just weird. this list sure had some weird games with celebrities in crazy roles. Which games with celebrities did you play? Let us know and make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube.
Rumble! Rumble!
Get those